This is a well-behaved room. It just knew. I'd like to start by thanking everybody for coming to our Meet Our New Football Coach reception today. We're very excited to have Coach Sheahan here with us, of course. We'll be hearing from him shortly. My name is Andy Beckler. I work in media relations, communications, and sports information with the athletics department here at the University of Guelph. So yeah, just a big thank you to all of our staff, alumni. I think we have a couple current players in the room as well today. Appreciate you being here. So we have a couple photo opportunities before or after individually. Rob, guys, let me know. We'll help facilitate that in any way necessary. And quickly, for those of you who don't know, seated up here on the front is the new head coach of the Gryphon Football program, Ryan Sheahan. So Ryan has ascended to his first head coaching role at the university level at the age of 38. He's spent 11 seasons coaching. His playing days were spent at Queen's University in Kingston, where he played quarterback for the Gales, the then Golden Gales. And more recently, Ryan has spent the last 4 seasons at the University of Calgary helping the Dinos football program really get to a prolific level where they've been setting multiple national records year in, year out, with each of his 4 seasons there spent as the associate head coach and offensive coordinator. So like I said, we're going to be hearing from Coach Sheahan quickly. But first, I'd like to call up our Director of Athletics at the University of Guelph, Scott Mcroberts.
Thanks, Andy. And good afternoon, everybody, and welcome. And thank you really all for being here today, not just alum and football staff, but members of the university at the same time. I'd first like to thank the hiring committee for their many hours in this national search, and I mean many hours, late nights. We closed cutting down at 1 a.m. one weeknight, and there's just a lot of hours that went into this important decision, and the work in recruiting an outstanding coach who we're going to announce today to lead our football program for the future. I'd also like to thank Todd Galloway. He's actually currently in Texas recruiting for us for the incredible work he did this past season and leading our team to a Yates Cup appearance. As I said, we did an extensive national search with a deep pool, and excited that Coach Sheahan will be rooted in our deep history as the 17th coach in Gryphon's history for this great institution. When you're looking at a position like this, it's all about finding the right fit, bringing a candidate that shares your passion, believes in your vision, and really can instill the values that define Gryphon athletics every day. There's no question that Ryan has the skill set, the personality, the coaching pedigree to instill this culture of excellence that we like here in Gryphon football. But also, for him, it's much more than that. It's about being in the classroom, both in the community here and externally. His values and personality fit the culture of our organization. He has a tremendous ability to build relationships on multiple levels, a very important aspect for leading a football program. His resume speaks for itself: 11 years of coaching experience, including 2 national championships, 2 winning programs, and he knows what it takes to establish excellence for this program. Just a little bit about it. I feel like I know more about him than himself right now in terms of his resume. But really impressive. Just a few things. He only lost 3 regular season games in the last 4 years at the University of Calgary, and his overall record there as the associate head coach, offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach, recruiting, was 36-7 over 4 years. In that time, he led one of the most prolific offenses in University of Calgary history. 3 years ago, had the Heck Crichton Award winner, which is for the most outstanding football player in the country, setting U-Sport records for his offense. 2 years later, under a different quarterback, reset the record, broke his own record under a new quarterback who also won the Heck Crichton Award winner. And I think those in the room understand the talent that we have on paper in our offense, and we're really excited that he's actually going to be able to utilize that offense, and we're really excited about what schemes he makes up. 5 hours after I picked him up for the airport, he's already looking at napkins on how we're going to beat Western next year. As I mentioned, it's really about developing our student athletes on and off the field, and we're looking forward to that. He was a running backs coach for the Hamilton Tiger Cats in 2012, and I think from what I'm talking about and what you're seeing here right now is he really understands how to run an offense, and with a good defense that we have right now, and we'll get better, we need to score points to win. That was evident in the Yates Cup in the previous year in playing Western, and we feel that we have the right coach in place to put that scheme together. Statistically and technically, Ryan is one of the brightest, most dynamic football minds in the country. But what excites us the most is bringing him to Guelph are his outstanding leadership qualities, his focus on driving excellence and instilling a culture of discipline and accountability within our student athletes. He believes in his abilities, and there's no question that he'll drive year over year continued success of our football program. During our discussions during the hiring process, Ryan shared his strategic vision for football excellence and where he sees this program going. More importantly, he expressed the importance of preparing his athletes for the next stage in life. He spoke about academics, the importance of balance for student athlete, and he takes a great pride in mentoring his athletes to the best versions of themselves. I really enjoyed this conversation. I know he's already set a goal for himself that I'm going to announce live today on YouTube of 15 academic All-Canadians within 3 years. That's his goal, and that's one of his first priorities, and really impressed us. We invest a lot in this program. We invest a lot in our student athletes, and to make sure they're here for 4 or 5 years, graduating with their degree, going on to have great careers is important for us, not only while they're here, but also to maintain their connection as alumni. So this is a great day for the Gryphons, and now it's my pleasure to introduce and welcome to our Gryphon family, Coach Ryan Sheahan.
I think that Mr. Mcroberts, all you had to do was drop a few plays, and then I didn't have to say anything today, so thank you very much. That was well said, and I appreciate it. I want to thank everybody for being here today. This is such an honor. I've always wanted to feel cool for one day in my life, and you guys are definitely making that happen right now. It's an exciting day for Gryphon football, but really it's an exciting day for me in my life. I feel that everything that I've done up until this point has led me to this position as the head coach of the Gryphon football program, and I have a tremendous amount of respect for anybody who is a coach, a player, an enthusiast, a fan of the game, or anybody who just likes football. But you know, I think that the one difference, and I'm not the only one out there, is the fact that in this realm, I was born into it. And I feel extra specially privileged today to be standing before you as the 17th head coach in Gryphon football history. I think when you get a chance to speak publicly, it's important to thank a few people that helped you along the way. First and foremost, I'd like to thank Scott Mcroberts and Wally Gabler, okay, for bringing me on board. Thank you for believing in me and my vision. And I know that working together, we're going to get it done here. I want to thank the Friends of Gryphon Football because, you know, nothing at this institution football-wise happens without you and your support. Tom Brady told Mr. Gillette once upon a time that, you know, you haven't made a mistake. I mean, you chose the right guy, and I won't let you down. And I'm here to stand in front of you all and say, I won't let you down either. We're going to get this thing done. The intention to come here was to win championships, but you know, like I say to the student athletes in this building, often we can get wrapped up in football talk, but really it's about, you know, putting together a well-rounded program so that everybody who attends the University of Guelph and plays football here leaves the program a success story and having the ability and capacity to go into the world and chase their dreams. Lastly, I know Mr. Beckler and I are going to speak, and there's going to be a little bit of an interview, at least I was told, so I don't want to take up too much of anybody's time, but one of my former student athletes once told me that the opportunities are few and far between to stand in front of people in public and to be able to thank your parents. And since I was told that this is a live broadcast today, I want to say to Mom and Dad, thanks for everything. I'm here because of you, and I won't let you down either. So thank you very much for having me. Look forward to a bright future. Thank you. Well, like right now. Okay.
Yeah, right. I'm not thanking my parents. So we'll steal Ryan for a couple more minutes here before letting Coach Sheahan go. This actually marks the first time since 1987 that a Gryphon head coach has come from somewhere outside of our immediate Gryphon coaching family. The previous 5 head coaches before Coach Sheahan were all coordinators or assistants with the Gryphon staff. So this is the first time in a while that the Gryphons have gone outside and brought somebody in, and as you can tell, there's some excitement in that. So just a little more background on the Gryphon football program. Most are aware, but obviously a rich history here at the University of Guelph. and our recent history has been pretty good as well. From 2012 to 2015, the Gryphon football team won a combined 28-4 during those regular seasons. More recently, this past year, as Scott mentioned, our football team advanced to the Yates Cup for the 4th time in the last 7 years. And the success we've seen has translated to the next level as well, where we had 12 former Gryphon football players playing professionally in the CFL this past season, 3 more former Gryphon football players working in the CFL, and 3 former Gryphon football players currently employed in the NFL in front offices. So the success is there, and we're looking to grow on that. So Ryan just got here, literally, less than a week ago. My first question was, what was the last 7 days like since you got here? But he's only been here 5 days. So he flew in on Sunday, and what's it been like, Ryan, since you got here on Sunday?
I definitely don't mean to put a negative spin on it because everything has been fantastic over the past 5 days. A little jet lag Monday and Tuesday, but a few coffees helped fix that. It's been a bit of a whirlwind. I've really enjoyed getting to know the little parts of the city that I've seen so far. I look forward to discovering the rest of it and becoming a member of this community. Everybody here at the institution has been excellent. This is obviously, I made the right choice by coming to Guelph because it's a first-class place, and we have first-class people leading the way. The staff has been excellent, and really the first few days on the job are all about integrating myself into the staff and the team, and all about discovery, and it's been excellent.
You heard him mention the parents earlier. Just to give you guys a quick background on Ryan, his father Pat just recently wrapped up a Hall of Fame tenure as head coach at Queen's University, where he was there for 18 seasons. His dad ranks 5th in Canadian university football history in wins and led the Gales to a national title in 2009. That's as much as we're going to talk about other schools. So I think I have an idea of where,
or at least about that one,
of where you might go when I ask what are some of the biggest coaching influences in your life. We know the dad's there, but talk about that and maybe some others.
Absolutely. My father has not only been dad, he's been my coach, he's been my boss, and he's been my most of all my favorite teacher. And I feel that within the football world, I've lived a very charmed life. The people that I have had access to over the past 38 years is really, to me, incredible. A fun story is that, when my mother first brought me to a Montreal Junior Concords practice in like 1982, when Wally Buono was the head coach, as soon as she let go of my hand, I ran out, and the linebackers and running backs were doing one-on-one, and I almost died right there that day. So, like I said, I was born into it, but the fact that my father was a coordinator with Wally Buono, and I got to meet and now have a relationship with him, a legendary CFL coach. When my father was at McGill, that staff was excellent to me, and I was just a pup. I basically grew up on the Concordia campus with the Stingers program, and got mentored by people like Jerry McGrath, Dan McKinnon, Pat Gregory, who's the head coach at John Abbott College, my former CJEP. And then moving on to Queens, when I became a university student, I got to work with Pat Tracy. Pat Tracy was one of my coaches, somebody I have a lot of respect for.
Former Gryphon?
Former Gryphon, yeah. There's your plug, Pat. Okay, I got you. Yeah, that's right. He's defensive coordinator at UBC. I enjoyed beating him the past couple of times. And then moving on from there, the fact that I have got to be, I got to learn from Jacques Chapdelaine and Dan Durazio and Wally Buono once again when I did professional development with the BC Lions, and then that created an opportunity to work with somebody like George Cortez, and then my time in Calgary, I got to be next to Dave Dickinson and John Huffnagel. I mean, I don't think that everybody else can say that they've just meet and learn from outstanding people, and that's all because of my father and the way he taught me to conduct myself and always be learning and coaching. So to him I owe so much.
There's 27 universities across the country that have a football program, and a lot of those, especially some of the top tier programs, have really talented assistant coaches. And it's a natural ascension for someone to one day want to become a head coach, but that doesn't mean that assistants at really good, successful programs always do leave. So what is it specifically about the University of Guelph when you look at this situation that made you want to make that jump?
Coaching is a people business, and immediately I didn't look at, I was glad that the interview was conducted at the Cutting Club because of confidentiality. I was still employed by the University of Calgary, and so I thank everybody here for that. It's all about people, and Mr. Mcroberts and Wally Gabler are tremendous people, and I was attracted to them first. And then once this idea started to grow in my mind, I started to take a look at the staff, people who are first class, very integral, and people I feel that I can work with side by side and to continue to develop the young men that play here. And then lastly, and most importantly, I took a look at the roster. You know, if I was to tell you I was looking at a roster that had a senior quarterback, big bestial linemen, athletic people on the flank and in the backfield, and you know, an athletic defense, I mean, you might not know who I'm talking about. You might assume a Laval or a Calgary, but really, Guelph has pieces here, and I was looking forward to working with them. So it's all about the people here. It always will be about the people here, and first and foremost, the people in that locker room.
So you kind of touched on earlier, you're just getting settled in, but maybe talk about what your January, what your February looks like, some of the immediate priorities when you're first arriving here for the new job.
I think we put a lot of stress on August to December, but January, February, and March are crucial months in the football season. The football season really never ends, it's ongoing, and this is all about integrating myself with the staff and you know, wrapping up some very important recruiting at the moment. There's some recruits out there that are looking to make their final decisions on where they'd like to attend for the future. And we've been busy in the office every day talking about young men that are coming in to visit, take a look at our institution. And I've even made a couple of visits this week in people's homes just to introduce myself to them and let them know that the program is heading in the right direction, and hopefully their final decision ends up with their name signing here at the Guelph Gryphons. So shoring up recruiting is first and foremost a priority.
Scott also touched on the great success you had at the University of Calgary the last 4 years, both as a team as well as the individual awards with the two quarterbacks, Andrew Buckley and Adam Snegra. When you look back on your 4 seasons there, what jumps out to you in terms of some of the things you're most proud of?
Athletically, obviously, Scott touched on it very well. Two major award winners, other nominees, multiple All-Canadians. You know, another thing we can mention is that, you know, the 16 and 17 draft class. I think Calgary had 17 people drafted, and that's really, really impressive. I'm really proud of the guys that have left the program at the University of Calgary and gone on and pursued careers and become well-rounded individuals. One of the messages I always give to all of my players is that when you leave here, I don't really care about how much money you make. I don't really care how big your house is. I really want to know if you're a member of your community that people can respect, if you work somewhere where your employer can trust you, and if you become a person that others in your community can depend on. And that happened many a time. No further, I mean, we talked about accolades and heck Crichtons and records, but you know, I'm proud to say that Andrew Buckley left our program after the 2015 campaign, played 2 years in the pros, and now in his first year of med school at the University of Calgary, which I think is tremendous, and I wish him all the best. And it was great. And he first year med school, and he even came and volunteered as the quarterback coach last year. So, you know, Andrew Buckley in med school, Jimmy Underdahl working in the finance world, and the list goes on and on. Toronto Argonaut Center, Sean McEwen. I'm proud to say that I had an influence in those young people's lives, and now they're going on chasing their dreams. So.
Coach Sheahan was also got a kind of front row seat to head coaching transition at his previous employer. When you arrived at the University of Calgary, Wayne Harris was taking over head coaching duties from Blake Nell. So having seen how successful Calgary handled the head coaching transition, what to you are some keys in executing that as a staff and a team?
That's a difficult one to answer. First of all, I'd like to say for the record that Wayne Harris is a first-class man and a great head coach to work for. And like other things I'm proud of at the University of Calgary is that, you know, 4 seasons there, Wayne Harris was the coach of the year in the conference 3 times and won the national award once. I've learned from some great head coaches, both in the CFL and the U Sports level. I think that the mission right now is to integrate myself, do a lot of discovery, and figure out exactly who we are and what we do well, and then to learn very quickly and implement a plan in order to build on our weak points, okay, on our challenges. Make sure that our challenges become successful, okay, but it's all about attracting the right student athlete, the right character people to continue to help us push this thing over the top.
So you might just be 38 years old, but you've been coaching long enough now where can you describe to the room yourself as a coach, your coaching style? How would you go about answering that for people?
First and foremost, I consider myself to be a teacher. I think that what I was taught once upon a time is to learn top levels of the game and then digest it and then regurgitate it to the young men so they can understand pro-style systems. one of the best compliments pro coaches have passed back to me and saying when they get an athlete from one of my institutions is saying, thanks coach, he was ready. Okay, so I consider myself to be a very effective teacher, a very effective communicator. For the players that are here and that are listening, I'm firm, and I do have an outdoor voice. And as my former assistant, Jabari Arthur, would say, that sometimes the baby blues come out and you know you're in trouble then. But it's all, at every turn we preach competition. The best player plays, no matter what level of experience you have on our team. And we're going to compete for everything. We're going to compete in the gym, on the field, on the track. And I hope that instilling that, student athletes will take that attitude into the classroom and compete to be the best, not only on the field, but in the classroom as well.
That's where I was going to go with my next question. Was you mentioned some of the academic success of past quarterbacks and players. What are some keys for you ensuring that your players are successful not only on the field, but also in the classroom?
I mentioned it to Mr. Mcroberts and Mr. Gaebler when I showed up here. It was crucial to have an academic coordinator piece that help support the student athletes on their journey in the classroom, because we'll take care of the field stuff. You know, as somebody who has a Bachelor of Arts and an education degree, education is paramount. It's student before athlete, and I'm thrilled that Lindsay is here. And I've already seen Mental Mondays taking place and guys showing up and going over their syllabus. It's all about getting ahead and being organized for what's upcoming on their schedule. So can't stress enough that academic success comes before athletic success all the time.
Last one for you is you also touched quickly on the current Gryphons, but heading into the 2019 season, you arrive here with this team. What stands out to you about the players on the current Gryphon roster?
There's a lot of great talent here, and really, I was really intrigued by the roster. I got to work with Theo Landers at the East-West game. I think he's a hell of an athlete. I look forward to honing his skills and hopefully turning him into a championship quarterback. I was really impressed with the way Coach Mike McDonald was in the facility the other day, and Coach Clough were coaching up the athletic but beastie offensive and defensive line. I had a great meeting with our players last night, standing at the podium, and had all 90 of them in here, and just laid down our vision for the future, and that's to be a championship program. Okay? And I told them it's all about having the confidence and believing in yourself that we are going to be a champion one day. I told them that there are a few other programs that don't need to be mentioned right now that are setting the standard, but in short order, we are going to work our tail off in order to become the standard in Canada. And I told them, and I'll repeat it, it was lift trophies or die trying from the football world. So I hope everybody else in this room is on board with that. It's all about working together and pushing this thing over the top.
Well, thanks, Coach Sheahan, for your time today. In 219 days, Coach will be leading the Gryphon football team out the tunnel here as they host McMaster on Sunday, August 25th. So we look forward to that. We thank you, Coach, and thank you again, everybody, for coming.
Thanks very much.
That's it. How do I do that? That's it.